With 8 of the original 16 still left, it's now time to move on to the quarter-finals of this great tournament. The first round produced quite a few moments of drama and the odd shock, with notable early fallers including the defending champion Mark Allen and 4-time World Champion John Higgins, who both lost in deciders. So who can make it to the last 4? Click on the match for the head-to-head stats. Luca Brecel v Ding Junhui, the 17th of January, 7 p.m. A matchup between two players who've not really been quite themselves this season, but one of them will find himself in the semi-finals after this. Luca produced the goods in the first round against Mark Allen, but his big issue has always been maintaining that high standard consistently. Ding put in a workmanlike performance in round 1 against a hapless Jack Lisowski, but on first-round form he'll need to step up a gear here to win. Luca appears from his interviews to have a new hunger for the game. He's had issues with his cue and his shoulder that now both appear to be sorted, and it also seems that he's been a little hurt by criticism on social media that he doesn't practice very much, so much so that he's decided to do the sensible thing and bin it. Ding, however, looks happy and incredibly relaxed. The family life clearly suits him, and as ever when he gets going he is absolutely devastating in the balls. I've ummed and erred on this one, as I initially thought Luca would step up and win, but as the hours have passed I've now come to my senses. Experience wins here, and that has to be Ding. Prediction: Ding to win 6-3. Ryan Davey, Ronnie O'Sullivan, the 17th of January, 1 p.m. Not for the first time in my life I was called careless the other day. This time it was by the world champion, who said that I was careless for not noticing how often Ryan Day wins deciders in one visit, as he did against John Higgins on day 1. I'll admit it's a trend that I hadn't noticed, and I still haven't checked the validity of Mark Williams' claims, so if anyone would like to, I am happy to accept the tag. Ronnie, by his own standards, was not fizzing in round 1, but we're getting so used to him looking unbeatable it's a surprise when he only knocks in a couple of tons in a match. His opponent Stuart Bingham, for whatever reason, just didn't turn up, and Ronnie simply went about his business to win in a canter. Surprisingly, these two haven't met in anything meaningful since 2011, and Day has in fact won their last 2 meetings, but back then Ronnie's chimp was totally out of its box and causing carnage wherever it went. He's a different kettle of chimps these days, and I expect him to do the job here. He'll probably lose the first frame again though. Prediction: O'Sullivan to win 6-3. Mark Selby v Judd Trump, the 18th of January, 1 p.m. Two players coming into this in good form, and without doubt on paper this is the tie of the round. Judd ditched the naughty snooker in dispensing with Kyron in round 1. The first 4 frames were as good as I have seen him play in terms of maturity and match play. He looked determined, played the right shots on all occasions, and was ruthless in punishing Kyron's carelessness. Selby started to be Selby again in his match against McGuire. Ton is for fun and looking like he's getting his game back in shape just in time for the run-up to Sheffield, where this year I think he'll be the man to beat. It's surprising how few times these two have met in anything meaningful, but where they have it's 3-3, with Trump winning all 3 they have played over more than best of 9. It's so difficult to predict what will happen here, and in terms of a bet I'd say it's a just sit and watch it match rather than wasting your money. I'll side with Trump because he has the look of someone who means business this week, and you have to factor in that Selby hasn't been as consistent as him this season. Prediction: Trump to win 6-4. Barry Hawkins v Neil Robertson, the 18th of January, 7 p.m. I'm really looking forward to this one. The Hawk was clinical in putting away Sean Murphy in round 1, who, like Bingham, Lisowski and Wilson, seemed to fall apart at the seams when faced with the Ally Pally crowd. Abba looked very impressive from 3-1 down against Williams, and in full flow it's very difficult to see him missing at times. If he keeps up the kind of form he showed in winning those last 5 frames, I fancy him to make the final this week. Barry tends to save his best for the big occasions, and it doesn't get much bigger than this, so this is an intriguing matchup. Hawkins got the better of the two in last season's China Open semi-final, but in meaningful matches Rabo holds a slight advantage. Their most famous encounter saw a 13-12 win for Barry at the Crucible in 2015, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if this one goes the distance too, but on first-round form, it's Rabo for me. Prediction: Robertson to win 6-4.